Tonight, confirmation of 3 new COVID-19 cases on Tuesday. The Commerce and Labour Ministers shoot down talk that the government will have no choice but to implement a national lockdown. And Dr. Hilaire says no one will be spared when he sues for the detention of his vehicle. The details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Tuesday, the 24th of November, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. St. Lucia continues to record positive cases of COVID-19. On Tuesday, the Ministry of Health reported 3 new cases. Nisha Charles begins our reporting.
As of November 24, 2020, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has confirmed 226 cases of COVID-19 on island. There are currently 115 active cases in country. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar-George gave the details of the latest 3 cases.
Case number 224 is a 68-year-old female from the Gros-Islet district. Case number 225 is a 36-year-old male from the Gros-Islet district. Case number 226 is a 25-year-old male from the Castries district. All of these individuals, after being assessed and tested for COVID-19, were placed in quarantine by health practitioners while awaiting their test results. At this point, the contact tracing team is in the process of investigating the presence of epidemiological links for these 3 cases.
The Ministry of Health also recognizes the efforts of a wide cross-section of the population in improving adherence to the infection prevention and control guidelines. Dr. Belmar-George says there has been a notable improvement in adherence to protocols in public spaces.
As we move into the Christmas season, it is important that we sustain and strengthen the efforts to minimize any potential exposure to the virus. Ensure that there is the daily habit of washing and sanitizing hands often during the day, wearing a mask while in public, and ensure it covers both your nose and your mouth. Maintain the recommended 6-foot physical distance, which is about 2 arms length apart. Sanitizing frequently touched surfaces, often using a bleach solution, and avoid contact with persons who have flu-like symptoms.
All of the active cases are stable and doing well. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Thank you, Nisha. Rumors of a national lockdown persist as St. Lucia continues to see rapid increase in the number of COVID-19 cases. So is a shutdown an option at this stage of COVID-19 community spread? Minister for Commerce Bradley Felix says it would cripple the economy. Genevieve Gonzague reports.
There are many whispers that another national shutdown is imminent. Despite the business community and Prime Minister saying a shutdown may not be in the country's favor at the moment, many continue to clamor that this is the best way to deal with the rising cases of COVID-19 being seen on island. Commerce Minister Bradley Felix on Tuesday indicated that a shutdown of any sort would only be adding pressure to an already fragile economy.
Can you really afford to shut down the country again at this time? The number of people who are suffering, I get calls as a Minister of Commerce, the number of businesses who are suffering. We may just see another set of businesses shutting the doors as a result of significant loss of income. And as a result of that, you have more people who will be going on the breadline. Can government really pick up all of that slack? No. So it's a decision that we have to take on certain responsibilities, and at the same time, we have to encourage other people we realize who just behave in various reckless ways, to ensure that we keep the country safe.
He says he understands the lives versus livelihoods argument. However, at this point, it is all about balance.
I agree it's a difficult decision to make in terms of deciding whether we should balance lives versus livelihood. But either way you look at it, without a livelihood, you have people dying. So we have to understand that, listen, the most important thing is follow the protocols. If we all follow the protocols and we are sensitive of what it is that we have to do, I think we'll be able to protect ourselves. But there's a lot more people not observing the protocols.
Felix is adamant that a shutdown would cause more harm than good to the country. He says Members of the public need to pull each other up and be each other's keeper when it comes to the observing of the various health and safety measures. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Jenny Gonzalez.
Former Prime Minister Stephenson King has also refuted the rumors that a national lockdown is imminent.
I'm a member of the cabinet and I've not heard those utterances, and I do not believe that it is something that we will look at actively. I think the Prime Minister has made pronouncements on this matter of a shutdown.
King went on to indicate that a shutdown is not the best route to go. He says the citizenry holds the power to prevent this.
I personally believe that what we need to do is to discipline our people. Our people must take responsibility of their behavior. They must appreciate that COVID is real, but we can live with COVID, but we must operate within a manner and a behavior that allows us to survive. I think St. Lucians ought to take responsibility, and so the economy can remain open while we protect ourselves. We follow the protocols as they say. I believe that we all have to take responsibility for our sanitation and sanitization, our surroundings, our community, ourselves generally.
King says all it takes is for people to do the minimum that is required from everyone, including the act of wearing a mask, washing and sanitizing hands regularly, and practicing social distancing. Stay with us. Still to come, Dr. Hilaire says everyone will pay when it comes to the detainment of his vehicle. St. Lucian farm workers in Canada run off to the dismay of Labour Minister Stephenson King, and Dominic Fede and Dr. Hilaire on which side has been more reckless when it comes to COVID-19 response. That and more after the break.